So it's late February, early March, and I haven't been doing anything in the garden for a couple of months, and I'm getting stir crazy. It's time though. Right now we can start planting our onions and our celery. So it's very exciting, and here we're going to look at a couple of ways, a couple of tricks that I use to make things work nice and smooth. So first of all, onion seeds are nice small seeds, very small plant, easy to separate. So typically I'll just plant them straight out into a flat like this, not in individual little pots or seed trays or anything like that. Just a big flat. Sprinkle the seeds out like you would pepper on your eggs in the morning. Nice and spaced out, good spacing on that. As you don't want them too clustered together, too tight. And basically, you'll grow them up in this flat until they're ready to be transplanted out in the garden in April. So now, a friend of mine was having some issues with algae growing on the soil surface. So here's a trick to help reduce that happening. A good little layer of sand instead of more soil on top of your plants, on top of your seeds. The sand is very well draining, and since I water from underneath, the water wicks up. The sand has a tendency to dry out before the soil does, and that way, with dry sand, algae just won't grow on there. So basically, you just want to spread out your nice pale play sand, nice and even, and there you go. Now, don't forget to identify your pots, right? So every pot that you plant, put a label on there, identify what type of vegetable and which variety. So here we're going to be planting some celery now. Celery is a smaller seed even than onions. So I'll do the same thing. I'll just sprinkle them on the soil surface here. I won't put so many because celery doesn't separate as easily as onions do, but I'll just put a little sprinkle like that. Doesn't take very many on an individual pot. Now, celery needs sunlight or needs light in order to activate the germination of its seeds. So a nice little light dusting of sand above them. Let the light come through. And the same as the onions, the sand's going to drain out more easily and have tendency more of drying out in between your individual stuff. So let's reiterate. This is a bad habit that I've got of not identifying. So please put tags on every single pot that you plant. You won't remember. You might think that you'll remember what you did, but you won't. I know this from experience. So good label that's going to last long enough to get the plants out into your garden. It's got to last a couple of months. Some things sometimes will fade in the sunlight, but bits of tape like this work just fine. So now that everything is laid out and ready to be watered, I'll take a watering jug. You don't need the sprinkling feature if you're going to water the tray that the seed tray is sitting in. So basically, I just sit my seed trays in a boot tray. It gives you about an inch deep of water that you can lay out into the boot tray. That will wick up into your seed, the soil of your seed trays, and basically just water up that boot tray until and let the water seep in until basically the soil has drunk up all of that water. And it'll take 20 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that for the water to wick up. So here I just finished watering, and you notice that the trays are nice and full, but it doesn't take long. That you start to see the bottom of the tray starting to poke through. The water level's going down, and in a second you start to see, the moisture starting to reach the soil, so the sand starts to darken, and you know that your water's wicked up to that level, and that's how you know you did a good job. So let it continue to soak up as much water as possible. Once the boot tray is pretty much out of water, then you're good to go. Drain out any excess water. After it's absorbed as much water as the soil can absorb. If there's any water left over, get rid of it. You don't want to let it sit in a pool of water all the time. And in no time, your seeds are going to crack, and germinate, and there you are. You have a nice cluster. You know, onion seeds kind of grow like grasses, so when they grow close together like this is fine. They'll separate easily down the road. When it's time to plant them outside in April, you know, onions can take some cold, so even though there's still some frosts, it's okay. You can put your onions out in April as long as you can work your soil and get them in there. You know, they're very easy to transplant. They're a tiny little plant. They're easy to separate one from the other. Put them out into your garden, and things should work out great. So thanks for watching this video. If it was very helpful to you, go ahead and hit a like and subscribe if you like this kind of thing. We've got more videos coming up. This season is going to be a very exciting season on this channel, so stay tuned and keep your eyes open for more videos just like this.